Hello friends, I am Emily and this is Ink Not Blood. Today I'm going to be doing the no disclaimers book tag. This is my very first real tag where somebody actually tagged me and now I get to do the video. So a big thank you to Vendy over at Caught Between Pages for tagging me. It's my understanding that the original tag video is no longer available, but I think the idea behind this tag is that you get to express whatever opinions you have with no disclaimers, no apologies, or really any explanation at all if that's how you roll. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Question number 1. What trope or tropes annoy you more than anything else in books? I've decided to go with that character who's a man and who just cannot understand women. They're just such a mystery to him. You know, they're that guy who's like, wow, I can just never understand women. Like, they're just so mysterious. I will just never understand why they do the things that they do. I never know what they want or why. And man, the way that they just like change their minds and like have human desires and shit, it just like completely vexes me. Like, have you ever even talked to a woman? And I mean like talked to a woman like she's an actual person and not like she's just some puzzle to be solved or goal to be achieved. My advice to characters like this and the men in the real world that they reflect is very simple. The next time you come across a mysterious woman and you're confused about what she's thinking, saying, doing, feeling, try asking her. Seriously, if you just treat women like people, they make just as much sense as anyone else. Question number 2, what writer or writers do you feel are overhyped? I'm definitely gonna have to start with Sarah J. Maas on this one. I read all the books in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series in May. I thought her writing style was kind of annoying, and honestly, there wasn't really anything in those books that I haven't seen done better elsewhere. The next author I'm about to add to this list might upset people, but the beauty of this tag is that I don't have to care. Based on my, albeit limited, exposure to this author's work, I'm gonna go ahead and include Marissa Meyer as an overhyped author. Sorry, not sorry. Question number 3, what is your least favorite book that you've read since joining BookTube? This one was easy to pick and probably not gonna come as a surprise, but I'm going with A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I mean, what could I say about this book that hasn't already been said? First of all, I really hated being in Rhys's head. I wasn't expecting that, but it felt like every time he thought of Feyre, his mind immediately went to sex, and that was like it. It just didn't give me a lot of faith in the substance of their relationship from his perspective. And then there was Feyre, whose thoughts basically throughout the entire book went like this. Shopping! I have so much money. Shopping! I really just have too much money. Oh, and then more shopping. Plus, this book just wasn't necessary to the series. It was pitched as something that would bridge the gap between A Court of Thorns and Roses and whatever's coming next, but really? Really, was there anything in this book that couldn't have been briefly summarized and referenced in the next book? Probably not. The one thing that I did love about this book was Nesta. I just f***ing love Nesta. Luckily for me, I was able to get this book from the library, and I am so glad I did not spend money on it. Seriously, just not worth it. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that this book was the result of some writing exercises that Sarah J. Maas was doing with her characters, and it definitely reads that way. Number 4, what is a terrible ending that ruined an otherwise great book? I'm actually gonna bend this question a little bit and talk about Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. I actually really liked this book, but I thought that the first half was a lot stronger than the second half. So if you count the second half as the ending of the book, that's where we're going with this question. Halfway through the book, there is a huge change in setting, and the character's situation undergoes a big transformation. I just thought that the story I thought I was being presented with at the beginning got really muddled by this change. I didn't really dig it, and I kept finding myself wishing that the second half of the book were more like the first half. Seriously though, still a great book, but just, Question number 5, what fictional character do you wish hadn't been killed off? Be warned that spoilers for Death Note are coming at you. Now, I'm totally cheating with this answer because I haven't actually read Death Note. I've only seen the anime and the recent live-action film, but let's not talk about that, like ever. From what I know, what I'm about to talk about is the same in the manga as it is in the anime. So tell me this, why did we have to kill Naomi? And if you're sitting there thinking, who the f*** is Naomi? What I have to say to you is, exactly! In Death Note, Naomi's fiance is one of the FBI agents that Kira kills. I was so excited when she got introduced. If you've seen or read Death Note, you've probably noticed that there is a severe lack of women in the cast. I mean, there's Misa, but don't get me started on that. So Naomi gets introduced, and she's this woman who used to be a very talented FBI agent herself before she gave up her career in order to start a family. Okay. But after her fiance is killed, she puts her skills to the test and starts secretly working on the Kira case. A new character who's a woman who is super sharp and awesome and poses a threat to light? Yes! But then what happens? They make her kill herself. What the actual fuck? Seriously, I will never not be mad about this. Ugh! So much potential just wasted. I mean, in the Wikipedia article that gives descriptions of each episode, they don't even give her a name. They literally just call her Penber's fiance. And she's in like twice as many episodes as he is. To quote Jenny Owen Young's, the patriarchy! I mean, honestly. Okay, let's move on because now I'm rage sweating. Question number 6. What are some of your bookish pet peeves? Oh yeah, this is definitely a question that's gonna keep me from rage sweating. First bookish pet peeve is when I go to the bookstore looking for a very specific book, but when I find it, the only version they have in stock is the one with the cover that features the movie or TV series. I will just walk right out. I will go out and buy a more expensive version of that book just so that I don't have to have a cover where I just have to look at the actor's face. For these next 2 pet peeves, I'm looking at you, BookTube. First, the way that people use the word spoil makes me crazy. I'm actually thinking about doing a whole video on this, so if that's something that would interest you, let me know down in the comments. But when people say that they were spoiled instead of saying that something was spoiled for them, it makes my eye twitch. Like this. Yeah, something like that. I just can't. Okay, last pet peeve, and this is real talk. And it has to do with all the apologizing that women booktubers do about their appearance. People, we have to stop. I don't care that you didn't do your hair today, or that you didn't do your makeup, or that you think the lighting makes you look weird. I don't care about any of that. And if other people do care, well, f them. I care about your content. Plus, it bums me out major when I see women getting down on themselves like that. If we as women want other women to believe that they're beautiful the way they are, then we have to believe that about ourselves. And I know it's easier said than done, but can we make an effort, please? We have to stop apologizing for fear that we're not meeting some standard. It is toxic, and when you do it, other women are watching you do it, and in some way what they're hearing is that they also should be apologizing for the standards they're not meeting. So then we're in this place where everyone feels shitty. Sometimes we lift each other up by lifting ourselves up. This is YouTube, and I think one of the most powerful things about YouTube is the fact that it can be real. Get dolled up for your videos, or don't. Whatever makes you happy. But don't chain yourself to some arbitrary expectation. And don't give that problematic expectation power by apologizing when you think you aren't meeting it. End of loving rant. On to question number 7. What books do you feel should have more recognition? When I heard this question, I automatically thought of The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. This is a book where you can get really immersed in all the sensory details. And it's a really good intertwining of a bunch of different coming-of-age stories. Plus, this one's definitely a contender for one of my favorite titles of all time. Question number 8, what are your thoughts on censorship and book banning? Pretty simple, don't do it. At the end of the day, anything can be dangerous in the wrong hands. Instead of spending time and energy trying to censor certain information, let's focus on teaching and promoting positive ideas and perspectives that help to combat the potential danger. Last question, who do you tag? I am tagging 4 other booktubers, including Bookworm on Wheels, Emma Novella, Min Kobayashi, and The Literary Life. These are the channels of some truly awesome humans, so I've linked them down below in the description. So go peruse their channels and find some of your new favorite booktubers. Before we wrap this up, can we just talk about how weird tags are? Like, are we just expecting everybody to watch everybody else's videos and find the ones that they're tagged in? That seems really silly to me, so what I've done is I've actually gone to recent videos of all these channels and left a comment letting them know I tagged them. I don't know if that's something that people ever do, but it seemed like a good idea, so I went with it. Like I mentioned earlier, I was tagged by Vendi at Caught Between Pages, and I've linked her No Disclaimers book tag in the description below, so you should go and check it out. She is just so wonderful, and I genuinely love watching all of her videos. So now that my video's over, head on over to her channel. Hey, but first, it's time for an awkward goodbye. Okay, I think that was awkward enough, so, bye. Okay, here we go. And I've linked, okay. The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue. Not Betty, Bonnie. Bonnie. Boom.